We are in the ili of Kapolei. So we're on the island of Oahu in the district of Ko'olaupoko in the Ahupua'a of Kailua, and this ili aina is Kapolei. Kalo is something that we can grow. We can't grow wheat here. We knew that it thrived here. It makes sense to grow kalo on our lands here, and it's an amazingly ono food and amazingly healthy as well. It's a no-brainer in my opinion. I love to eat kalo. We started growing kalo in our backyard nearly 25 years ago. It was never an intention on my part or the part of my wife and I and our family to become kalo farmers. We simply saw the connections that can be made through the growing of kalo. We've had over 200 people who've been a part of our internship program. And what's happened as a result is we now have 5 people on staff who were former interns who are now the leaders. There are kind of the peer mentors, and they are now the ones who teach a lot of the lessons. They're in charge of the production of kalo. They're really an invaluable part of our organization. I'm an educator by trade. I primarily taught challenged or at-risk youth. For kids who don't go to school a lot and they're not reading a lot, language arts or English is like the worst subject. So I had a hard time connecting with them. Most of my kids were Hawaiian. And so what I started doing is infusing the literature of what we were teaching with Hawaiian culture, specifically with the cultivation of kalo. I realized that it was a powerful teaching tool. And so that kind of became the premise for everything that we're doing. So we like to say that it is through the growing of kalo that we grow young people and community. So kalo for us is kind of like a byproduct almost. We don't take it lightly, that kuleana of carrying on the tradition of kalo cultivation. But in ways, it's a means to a larger goal for us, which is individual and community well-being. I believe that well-being really starts first with ma'ana ka'opu. You know, when you are satisfied, when you have food in your system that's healthy and good, it gives you then the foundation from which all well-being can then spring forth. To me, I think these are lessons that are no longer a part of kind of normal everyday life. First, very basic, understanding where your food comes from. You know, understanding the community that supports the growing of that food and how we're all interconnected. And when you start to understand those things, then you start to understand that then we also have the opportunity to become a community contributor because we're connected, we're a part of it. With that, then we have kuleana to steward and care for one another, place, individual as well as community well-being. Hawaiians never grew kalo for profit. It was a subsistence approach to growing kalo. If you tie it all the way back into safety and food safety, it's really intentions as to why you're doing what you're doing. Food for yourself as well as those in your family, you want it to be not only safe, but you want it to be good. In order for that food to be good, we need to then steward the land in a way that will in perpetuity ensure that my children and their children will continue to be able to live subsistently from that land and with that land. Therein, I believe, develops a system of safety and protocols that ensures the well-being of not just the food you're eating today, but the food that will hopefully be provided generations from now. It's a mindset, and it's all based on intentions. Where food safety comes into question is when those intentions are not based on what we just shared, when they're based on, say, profit. When it is pursued as simply kalo being a commodity, and hence we want to be able to produce kalo the cheapest, quickest, fastest way so as to reap the highest reward in terms of profit, safety measures can tend to break down. When food starts to be scaled, the production of food starts to scale up, it scales up and then there's less connection to the people who are growing the food. But when you know your farmer and where the food comes from, you understand the practices that that person is taking. They are eating the food that they are also providing for you or selling to you. It's completely different. That's a lot safer. And personally, I'd rather eat and be a part of that food system. I believe what needs to take place are large tracts of land need to be managed in a way that people can participate in the food system to reap not only the physical benefits or the tangible benefits of food that's produced, but the holistic benefits of health and well-being. And we'd like to think that we have created that here. This is like a kipuka. And what we do is we intentionally provide this space as an opportunity for people to connect. We see the demand and the hunger for people wanting to connect with Aina. I see the hunger, and what inspires me are the young people right there. They're hungry for it. And they're the ones who inspire me to get up every morning to do what we do here. So I feel it my kuleana to provide them the opportunities to take part in the food system and to be the ones to then spearhead an entirely type of new food system. Not just growing food, but it's the manner and approach, like I said, tied into food security. It's the intentionality of why we're doing what we're doing. And I think that that's the type of value base that we're trying to shift, to work, to grow, and to inspire with what we do here at Ho'oku'aina.